Soft Dragon! Soft Dragon! Soft Dragon! It's finally time. So after the first abysmal event where the Soft Dragon was released, I have finally managed to acquire this dragon in my game as of the new Divine event. So this is, of course, the legendary Soft Dragon's egg. Very soft looking egg. I'm so funny. That was probably the unfunniest joke I've ever said in my life. But of course, with it being a legendary, I probably wouldn't recommend you use this dragon on your team if you do manage to get it out of the Divine chests. But it is a legendary wind and AoE dragon. So because it does have AoE, it's not the worst possible option for a legendary you could ever pick. Still don't recommend it, but, you know, free legendary, which means free DCP, which means a happy me. But anyway, soft dragons are driven by kindness. They seem to be quite smart and empathetic, but wherever there's light, there is darkness. And even the kindest dragons are complicated creatures. Too true. Too true, DML narrator. I wonder what canonically, or who canonically is supposed to be the one that says that. Soft, you've missed it. There you go. But I do like the design of Soft overall. You know, very just sort of more of a plain looking dragon, so nothing too over the top. Like not ridiculous designs like Mr. Burger or anything else. But just a nice sweet looking dragon. Lily. Lily the Soft Dragon. Very fitting name, I think. But I will level up Lily here, and I do actually have another legendary to hatch, although it is a duplicate legendary, so nothing too impressive. But I am going to take little Lily here to level 21, just to make her easier to acquire. Look at that pretty dragon. Very, very pretty dragon. Like, if I was going to draw a dragon or think of a dragon to, like, throw into a cave, I'd probably throw a dragon that looks something like this one in there. You know what I mean? Anyway. That is a new legendary, which means a happy me and a new dragon added to our codex collection. But the other legendary that I've got is, of course, another dragon of the month, Hierophant. And if you were trying to breed Hierophant in the last week was a good time to do that. But now that we're going to have the castle event next week, I highly, highly recommend that you stop trying to breed for any legendaries now. Because look, it may be fantastic to, you know, go for legendaries and try and breed rare dragons, but you don't want to be screwing yourself over during the castle event, so I highly recommend you stop trying to breed the Hierophant right now. If you don't already have it, then at least pop it into a second den, or use your second den relics if you have any, otherwise you're kinda screwed. But anyway, let's go and take these legendaries. I do have like 3 Hierophant dragons now, by the way. Let's go and take them for a quick spinny winny into the map, because, you know, I don't always take my new dragons for a quick map visit. But, you know, I kind of feel bad when I just ignore them. So let's throw in some legendaries that I'm rarely ever going to use. There you go, the devil. Let's throw little Softy, the Hierophant, and the devil in here. I think they're going to get destroyed, but either way, you know, legendaries, when you don't have their attacks upgraded and unlocked, of course, they're not very good, really, especially against bosses. You'll end up running into a literal brick wall, like against this Tesla boss here, but that's because he's 3 levels above. So if we try, say, this fight here instead, can we beat some level 23 Mercuries? Maybe not. But we'll see if just 3 random legendaries can do this. It's such a different world when you don't have wonder and acceptance on everyone. Trust me, a very, very different world. It's just like, the difference is staggering between a wonder acceptance team and a non-wonder acceptance team. With Divine Bless, of course, because without you can get usage out of, say, you know, Wonder Acceptance, but if you don't have Bless, it's a lot worse than it could be, you know. Dragon Fury is actually going to be useful for once. My goodness, this is what DML used to feel like, isn't it? This was back during an age where DML was just about use the element, attack the dragon. Look at that. Look at that, that's reminded me of an old age of DML back when I cleared this full map. back in my day, we didn't have all of these, fan-spangled sigils and such. You know what I mean? Yeah, we didn't have those back then. Sigils really did change the game. I know some people are still really adamant against sigils, and I kind of understand it because sigils are RNG in their drops and things like that. But to have a good team, you really do need at least one divine. There's like a bare minimum, and then spread wonder and acceptance across your team. But, you know, some people don't want to play the meta, and if you don't want to play the meta, that's fine. But you're probably going to do worse than people that do play to the meta. So you just got to be aware of that when you play the game. I know a lot of people ask, you know, what sigil should I put on? What should I use on my team? It's basically either Wonder Acceptance or Purity Daredevil. Almost always. There are some exceptions to that rule, of course, as I've been through before and explained with different teams, like the coaching stream that we did a long time ago. But, you know, sigils just make such a big difference, and divines having their interaction with wonder and acceptance sigils is just too good. So that's the reason I throw them on. But do remember that Purity Daredevil can still be really, really good for the sigil map, because in the sigil map you'll get more points for instantly killing an enemy and not taking any damage. So that's the reason why Purity Daredevil can be really, really good for getting high scores in the map. And of course, if you don't have a divine or anything, Purity Daredevil can just be useful for that. But Purity Daredevil sucks for the dungeon. Purity Daredevil is horrible in the dungeon. I don't ever recommend you use it. It's mainly because of the Daredevil. So it's something you got to keep in mind. But outside of that, you know, I've just been doing my grinding. I actually think we've got some more chests to open up. Should we open up some chests? Let's open up some more chests. I've got 65 more tickets to use. Can we get a times 50? A tasty, tasty times 50 to get me some Artemis pieces would be... No, just times 3s. Okay, I don't even want to see it. If it's not at least a times 10, I don't even want to look at it. It's kind of annoying that we're not gonna... Damn, they're all times 3s. It's kind of annoying that we're not gonna be able to unlock the other dragon newt yet for at least another week, but it doesn't really make much difference. But I have been having lots and lots of people ask me, like, what's happening with the tickets and what's happening with the holy talismans, and just like last time, I've already said it, but maybe I'll have to do a separate video about it. Wow, you're really cucking me with these drops at the moment, game. But essentially the holy talismans are going to stay for the entire event. It's just the tickets are going to change from the chapter 1 to the chapter 2 chests when it does do the swap over from Greek to Egyptian, the theme. So you have to use your tickets before the changeover. There we go, a times 10! Finally, a times 10! I thought it would never happen. That took like nearly 60 chests to get that, jeez. But yes, you should use your tickets as soon as you get them to avoid you accidentally, you know, not spending them in time. But in terms of your holy talismans, you can hold on to them for the whole event. I'm just going to spend them anyway, just so that we can claim as many pieces of Artemis as possible. So it looks like I'm sitting at 72 pieces of Artemis at the moment, which does put us on pace for being able to get, at the very minimum, 2 divines out of this divine event / divine altar. You know, we've got 4 weeks of events. But at the same time, I'm not going to be grinding the dungeon too much this week because I have a team that is not really optimal for this week's dungeon, because this week is full of plant, and Nezha being the healer and the shielder and the blesser, it means that this dungeon week isn't really a very good one for my team. And you probably have your own team where they work somewhat better in certain weeks and not others. Pretty much everyone does. So that's something that you should keep in mind when you're going to say pick a particular dungeon week to gem, if that is what you decide to do. You don't have to gem the dungeon to get at least 2 dragons. You could probably get at least 2 divines free to play without wasting really any gems. But if you do waste a few gems, I say waste, but if you spend a few gems on dungeon resets, of course you'll be able to get yourself some more stepping stones, which is going to allow you to open more of that purple chest at the end, and then you can get yourself more tickets. But same thing, I've had people say, you know, I'd love to see someone be able to get a divine free to play out of this event, like without actually wasting any money. Trust me, this event is one of the nicer events for being free to play friendly. You can easily get your hands on Artemis and Newt free to play. You just have to be logging in for all of the castle events and like to get the bonus tickets and all the cake crazes. Because like cake craze, I'm nearly done. Cake craze, I'm at 7,600. I just need to get these last couple of recipes done, and then that's it. I'm going to get another 20 tickets. So you have to be doing the mini events, you have to be doing the castle events that come up, and you have to be doing a lot of dungeon grinding. And even in this week where I'm not super grinding the dungeon, I'm at 1,400 KOs. In a week where I was super grinding, I might be at 3,000 KOs. Or 2,000 KOs, but I'm not at that. So it's one of those things where this is the reason why, instead of wasting your gems on really bad deals like the Eternal Fruit Tree, if you just save up gems like I have, because I haven't bought any clam, I haven't bought any gems in general, these are just the amount that I've saved up since the last Ancient event came up, where we got Roger, because I went all the way down to 0 gems, and then I've just been saving up my natural gems that I get every day. And I'm already at 500, over 500, I think it's closer to 600 saved, and then I can just use these to get divines out of this event. You don't have to spend money in every single event. I don't even have the shrine this event, so I have spent nothing this event. I do get the VIP 20 bonuses for things like, you know, food collecting, maps, things like that, but outside of that, it's not like it's going to just give me tickets. It's not just going to give me tickets because I got a higher VIP level. So I'm not completely free to play in general, but for this event I haven't put any money in. It's more than doable. If you are a free to play player, you can get your hands on at least 1 divine, if not 2. You just have to do a lot of dungeon grinding and hope that your team is good enough to make it worth it to keep gemming in the dungeon if you need to do that. But I'm just throwing that out there because I had a couple of people go, "Oh, it's not possible, it's not possible." It is. It 100% is. I could probably open up an account right now, start from scratch, and probably get a divine. I'm telling you, I could probably do it. Maybe I will. That would be a lot of effort, maybe I won't. But it's something that I know players can do. So if you are trying to grind out this event, absolute best of luck to you. I hope that you get everything that you want, but in the meantime, I'm happy I got a new legendary, and I hope to get more new dragons like that Cyclops and Pyramid Dragon soon. But for now, I appreciate you being here, and enjoy your day, or night, or whatever time it is.